There's a hormone inside your body right now that determines whether you wake up with energy or exhaustion, whether your skin stays smooth or wrinkles prematurely, and whether your brain stays sharp or starts to fade. Most people have never heard its name, yet it controls how fast you age at the cellular level. This hormone is called cortisol, and while your body cannot survive without it, too much of it for too long literally accelerates the aging process in ways that are both visible and invisible. Understanding how this works changes everything about how you think about stress, sleep, and the daily choices that shape your future health. Your body produces cortisol in two small glands that sit on top of your kidneys. These adrenal glands release cortisol in response to one primary signal from your brain: danger. When your ancestors encountered a predator, cortisol flooded their bloodstream within seconds. It raised their blood sugar to fuel their muscles, sharpened their focus, suppressed their immune system temporarily, and prepared every system for immediate action. This response saved lives. The problem is that your body cannot tell the difference between a physical threat and a mental one. When you check your phone and see 17 unread emails, your brain perceives a threat. When you argue with someone you care about, your brain perceives a threat. When you lie awake at night worrying about money, your brain perceives a threat. Each time, your adrenal glands release cortisol as if you were running from danger. Except you're not running anywhere. You're sitting still while your body prepares for a battle that never comes. This is where aging begins to accelerate. Cortisol is designed to be a short-term emergency hormone. It should spike quickly and then drop back down once the danger passes. But in modern life, the danger never fully passes. Your brain keeps signaling threat after threat, and your cortisol levels remain elevated for hours, days, sometimes years. This chronic elevation changes everything. Let's start with what happens to your cells. At the end of each chromosome inside your cells, there are protective caps called telomeres. Think of them like the plastic tips on shoelaces that prevent fraying. Every time a cell divides, these telomeres get slightly shorter. When they become too short, the cell can no longer divide properly. It either dies or becomes senescent, which means it stops functioning normally and starts releasing inflammatory chemicals that damage surrounding tissue. This is cellular aging. Elevated cortisol speeds up the shortening of telomeres. People who experience chronic stress have measurably shorter telomeres than people of the same age who live with less stress. This isn't a metaphor. Their cells are biologically older. The difference can be equivalent to a decade or more of additional aging, visible at the microscopic level. Now let's talk about what you can actually see. Cortisol breaks down collagen, the protein that keeps your skin firm and elastic. When cortisol levels stay high, your body cannot repair and rebuild collagen as efficiently as it breaks it down. The result is thinner skin, deeper wrinkles, and a loss of that youthful elasticity. People often spend hundreds on creams and treatments, while ignoring the internal hormonal environment that determines how their skin actually ages. Cortisol also affects where your body stores fat. Under normal conditions, your body stores energy relatively evenly. But chronic cortisol elevation triggers a specific pattern: fat accumulation around your midsection. This isn't just about appearance. Visceral fat, the kind that surrounds your organs, is metabolically active. It releases inflammatory molecules that increase your risk for heart disease, diabetes, and other age-related conditions. The stress hormone literally reshapes your body into a higher risk form. Your brain ages faster under prolonged cortisol exposure, too. The hippocampus, a region crucial for memory and learning, is especially vulnerable. High cortisol levels can actually shrink the hippocampus over time. Brain cells in this area have many receptors for cortisol, And when those receptors are constantly activated, the cells become overworked and damaged. This is why people under chronic stress often experience memory problems, difficulty concentrating, and a feeling that their mind isn't as sharp as it used to be. They're not imagining it. Their brain structure is changing. SEEP provides one of the clearest examples of how cortisol disrupts the aging process. Cortisol naturally follows a daily rhythm. It should be highest in the morning to help you wake up, then gradually decline throughout the day until it reaches its lowest point around midnight. This allows another hormone, melatonin, to rise and initiate deep, restorative sleep. But when you're under constant stress, this rhythm breaks down. Cortisol remains elevated at night, preventing deep sleep stages where your body repairs tissue, consolidates memories, and clears metabolic waste from your brain. Without adequate deep sleep, your cells cannot perform essential maintenance. Growth hormone, which is released primarily during deep sleep, helps repair muscle, strengthen bones, and regenerate tissue. When cortisol blocks deep sleep, growth hormone production drops. You wake up feeling unrefreshed because your body literally didn't complete its nightly repair work. Do this for months or years, and the accumulated damage becomes significant. Your immune system ages under cortisol's influence as well. Short bursts of cortisol actually help coordinate immune responses during acute stress, but prolonged elevation suppresses immune function. It reduces the production of antibodies, weakens the response to vaccines, and slows wound healing. Chronic stress makes you more susceptible to infections and less able to fight off abnormal cells that could become cancerous. Your immune system is supposed to patrol and eliminate threats constantly. Cortisol undermines that surveillance. The digestive system offers another window into cortisol's aging effects. Digestion requires significant energy and blood flow. When cortisol signals danger, blood is diverted away from your digestive organs toward your muscles. Your stomach produces less acid, your intestines move more slowly, and the beneficial bacteria in your gut can become imbalanced. Over time, this contributes to inflammation in the digestive tract, poor nutrient absorption, and increased intestinal permeability. Your body cannot build and repair tissue effectively if it cannot properly digest and absorb nutrients, no matter how well you eat. Cortisol also interferes with other hormones in ways that accelerate aging. It blocks the production of sex hormones, like testosterone and estrogen. These hormones are not just about reproduction. They maintain bone density, muscle mass, skin quality, mood stability, and cognitive function. When cortisol chronically suppresses them, you experience a faster decline in all these areas. Men lose muscle and gain fat more easily. Women experience more severe symptoms during perimenopause and menopause. Both sexes feel less vitality. Insulin, the hormone that regulates blood sugar, stops working as effectively under chronic cortisol exposure. Cortisol raises blood sugar to provide quick energy during stress. But if that sugar isn't used for physical activity, insulin must constantly work to bring levels back down. Over time, cells become resistant to insulin signals. This insulin resistance is a hallmark of metabolic aging. It leads to higher blood sugar, increased fat storage, more inflammation, and eventually diabetes in susceptible individuals. What makes cortisol particularly insidious is how it creates self-reinforcing cycles. Poor sleep raises cortisol. High cortisol disrupts sleep. Elevated cortisol increases cravings for sugar and fat. Eating those foods causes blood sugar spikes and crashes that trigger more cortisol release. Cortisol makes you feel anxious and irritable. Feeling that way creates more mental stress, which raises cortisol further. Breaking these cycles requires understanding that your biology is not working against you. It's responding exactly as designed to signals that your modern environment sends constantly. The solution isn't to eliminate cortisol. You need it to wake up, to respond to real challenges, to maintain blood pressure and blood sugar. The solution is to restore the natural rhythm, sharp peaks when needed, followed by complete recovery. Your body knows how to do this, but you have to create the conditions that allow it. Physical movement is one of the most powerful regulators of cortisol. Exercise temporarily raises cortisol, then triggers a strong recovery response that lowers it below baseline and improves your body's overall stress resilience. The key is that the stress is brief and followed by rest. This is exactly the pattern cortisol was designed for. Regular movement teaches your body to spike cortisol appropriately and then clear it efficiently. Sleep protects against cortisol-driven aging more than almost anything else. Prioritizing 7 to 9 hours of sleep in complete darkness at consistent times allows cortisol to drop to its natural nighttime low. This permits all the repair processes that slow aging. No supplement or treatment can replace what happens during deep sleep. Sunlight exposure in the morning helps synchronize your cortisol rhythm. Light hitting your eyes early in the day signals to your brain that it's time for cortisol to be high, which paradoxically helps it drop more completely at night. This simple environmental cue can restore rhythm that has been disrupted for years. The most surprising factor might be the quality of your thoughts. Your brain doesn't just respond to external events. It responds to the story you tell about those events. Two people can experience the same situation and produce completely different cortisol responses based on how they interpret what's happening. This doesn't mean you can think your way out of real problems, but it does mean that how you direct your attention throughout the day shapes your hormonal environment as surely as what you eat or how you move. Cortisol reveals something profound about aging. It's not just the passage of time that determines how your body and mind change. It's the accumulated effect of how your biology responds to your environment and your thoughts, day after day, year after year. The hormone that was supposed to save your life in moments of danger becomes the very thing that ages you when those moments never end.